HomeSpun is Team 10. Come on up.
Kia ora. My name is Mark Ferguson, and it's a pleasure today to bring to you designer jeans. I got a giggle early, that's great. Meet Tim and Holly Gray. They farm at Waipori Lake to the south of here. They're farming with a young family, and they've been doing that for a few years. Tim's actually working off farm. He works at ASB in a bank, and he's doing that to pay the bills, as many farming families are. In order to realise their dream, they've taken on a lot of debt. They're taking on a heap of debt so they can farm on their family farm, and they've taken on equity investors. So start putting yourself in their shoes. They've got no time, they're flat out, and they've got some stress around. They've got aspirations to do great things. They want to regenerate their land, they want to make their land better than the way they found it, and they also want to give their kids the same opportunity that they've had to come home and work on that family farm. So they need to do great things with their farming community. They need to farm really well to reach their aspirations. And one of those things that they can really do well is the animals that they farm with. Because every November, they make a really, really critical decision. That is, which animals am I going to keep, which animals am I going to sell? And that sounds really, really simple, but that's as complex as anything. Because some of those animals are going to cost them money. Some of those animals are going to make them quite a bit of money, and they have no idea which one's which. They have 30 decisions in their entire farming career to get that decision right. They're flat out, they're stressed, they're time poor. They need to make a really good decision, but there's no way they can make that decision because they don't know the information. Enter designer jeans. We do data, and we do data really, really well. We work with people like Tim and Holly, and we go out there and we put sensors on that farm, we put sensors on those animals, and we get information off that farm to help them empower a really, really important decision. We help them essentially send them the data and say, these are the animals that are going to make you money, these are the animals that are going to cost you money, this is the decision you can make. We don't make that decision for them, we empower them to make a really critical decision. We also, through the system, through the ecosystem that we're evolving through all the clients around the country, both sides of the country, New Zealand and Australia, we can say there's rams elsewhere that actually could make use of money, and we can bring those genes in. So we can help them absolutely get the right genes in their environment, in their farming system, and make them the most money so that those kids can come home and farm and they can meet all their aspirations. So in 30 years, when Tim and Holly are looking back and they're retiring, because they're retiring at 60 because they've nailed this, they'll know that every time that they've put animals out into their pasture, they've had the right animals for their production system, the exactly right animals to meet their production system, and they've done that because we've had their back. And they've had the right animals for their consumers overseas. Our system is enabling them to understand what the consumer trends are and finding out which of those animals they should be farming in the future, not just for today's markets, but for the markets in the future. We've got a gun team. We've got collectively 70 years of experience of turning complex problems into answers for farmers. And we've done that across both sides of the country. We've got networks across Australia. We've got across beef, sheep, farm wool, strong wool. We've got networks, we've got the skills. We're the best team for the gig. So if you're a farmer and you're interested in what I've been talking about, we'd love to hear from you. If you're a technology partner and you think you could help us with that problem of getting data from farm into a system and back to those farmers, we'd love to hear from you. And if you're an investor, we'd love to have a chat. Thank you very much.
Great job, Ferg. Awesome. Come on, Ferg, stay out for comments. Judges, comments?
Yeah, I really like the idea about really having like closing the loop, basically with the customer, with the market trend and the designer gene, and you got the feedback and feed forth. Nice work.
Yep, pretty good. I'd like to think about how you might extend it beyond animal genetics into plant genetics, for example, and build up that richness around your farm system, where that system sits and what's on it, and just build a really good, complex community of information that can help any farmer, whatever they're doing.
All right, excellent. I see a lot of questions being written down, so looking forward to those conversations afterwards. But thanks, Ferg. Fantastic. Give it up. HomeSpun.